Varela, PhD from the Philippines, Dr. Johari bin Sarif from Malaysia, and Dr. Panca Jarod Santoso from Indonesia. The plenary will be moderated by Mr. Yaakob Ahmad of the International Tropical Fruits Network. Mr. Yaakob was graduated from West Texas University. Mr. Yaakob had worked for the Malaysian Agriculture Department for about 30 years before joining the International Tropical Fruits Network as technical officer and then become the CEO. Currently, Mr. Yaakob is an advisor for the TFNet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Nguyen Ngoc He, Mr. Panusak Saipanich, Rowena P. Varela, PhD, Dr. Johari bin Sarif, Dr. Panca Jarod Santoso, and Mr. Yaakob Ahmad.
Thank you very much, Madam MC Buriri, for the kind introduction. Am I clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's very clear, Mr. Yaakob.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum, then very good morning to all colleagues and friends. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the many organizers, ICOT and also ITFRI, for giving me this opportunity to chair this very important session on the status of the durian industry in the main producing countries in the region, namely Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. I believe this session can provide us with insights of the industry's regional development and hopefully also indicate some potential areas of possible collaborations. I believe that all speakers are already ready, are logged in and are ready to go. Thank you very much. But before that, I just want to reiterate the presentation format. Each presentation will go on for 20 minutes for each speaker. And after that, question and answers session will be at the end, yeah? Okay, for the participants, you can use the chat box for your questions or raise your hands using the alternate Y key. If you feel you can express yourself better by just talking, yeah, you can raise your hands. Okay, the other thing is, before we begin, I would like to remind the speakers that you are expected to already share your screen when I'm introducing you. Maybe now Dr. Kung should already have his screen there because so that we save some time. Yeah? So when I'm introducing you, have your screen ready and make sure you're already in the presentation mode, not in PP presentation mode. Right? And the other point is, I hope the Secretariat please stand by with the backup copies of the PowerPoint. Secretary, please stand by just in case there are technical or connection issues during presentation. So maybe if the Secretary has got copies, just make sure you have it. All right, to start the ball, thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, to start the ball rolling, the first speaker, according to the program, is from Vietnam, who is he's Dr. Nguyen Ngoc He. He's well, fortunately, he's my friend, so I can say good things for him. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Dr. Hung graduated with, he has a PhD in plant breeding and propagation. He graduated from the Hanoi Agriculture University. Meantime, Dr. Hung, can you please share your slide first? Dr. Hung, can you? Yeah, okay. You share your slide now, okay? Okay, he's also a country member. He's also a country member for the International Tropical Fruit Network. He represents Vietnam for as a representative of the country. Yeah? And currently, he is the Director General in the Fruit and Vegetable Research Institute, FAVRI, which is based in Hanoi. Okay, without further ado, Dr. Hung, you're ready. Kindly proceed with your presentation. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Jacob. Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure for me to participate in this symposium. I would like to send my very deep thanks to symposium organizer. Today, I would like to introduce some information about our durian in Vietnam through my presentation, current durian industry in Vietnam. The first, I would like to introduce some key fruit produced in Vietnam in 2020. There are about 40 species of fruit crop grow commercially in Vietnam, including tropical fruit, subtropical fruit, and temperate fruit. Durian is a special fruit of Vietnam with 70,000 hectares accounting 6.2% of the country total fruit crop area. Durian is grow in the southern part province in Vietnam. It including its central highland, accounting for 39%. In central central province is and southeast province and Mekong River Delta. About durian production and yield period 2015 to 2020. The planting area of the productivity of durian in Vietnam have increased continuously in recent years. In year 2020, the total area of durian in Vietnam reached 70,000 hectares with productivity of over 500,000 tons. The yield of durian in Vietnam, according to statistics, it's about around 15 tons per hectare. The yield of durian varies among growth regions, reaching a height in the Mekong River province and lowest in the central south province with 5.8 tons per hectare. About planting area, the largest in the central highland with approximate 30,000 hectares, followed by the Mekong River Delta with about the approximate 25,000 hectares, and the lowest is the central south provinces. About the harvest season of durian in Vietnam. In Vietnam, because durian grow in different regions, so that the harvest season is different between regions, the two regions. The harvest time of durian in Vietnam extend to all year around, depending on ecological region. In the southeast provinces, the main harvest season is concentrated in May to July. This area. In the Mekong Delta, the main harvest is concentrated in May to June. It's May to June, with extension from July to April is the next year, because in this area we can produce the off-season of durian. In the Central Highland, the main harvest season falls between April to October. Varying on the ecological condition of the each sub-region. About the variety of the durian in Vietnam, because a long time ago, durian in Vietnam was propagated by seed, so that the variety of the durian in Vietnam very diversified. But in Vietnam, we have only some variety to produce in commercial. The first variety that is RI6. This variety have fruits average weight of the 2 to 2.5 kilogram per fruit. Fruit are ellipse shape. Its rind is yellow at ripening. The fruit fat is brain dark yellow in color, less fibrous, with the fragrant, sweet and creamy taste. The fruit contain many fresh seeds with a high edible proportion, about the more than 31%. The yield of the relative high and stable with 200 kilogram per year per tree. The second variety, that is the Qinghua variety. This variety has the fruit with quite large. It's 2.6 to 3.1 kilogram per fruit, with the face in shape, uniformly yellow and in ripening.
Dr. Hung, are you still there? Dr. Hung, are you still there? Okay, we'll give Dr. Hung 1 minute to resolve his connection problem. I think he's trying to connect. In the meantime, friend Mr. Panusa, can you just stand by just in case? Just stand by. We'll give Dr. Hung another few seconds. Okay, you're on. Yes, please put on your mic. Please put on your mic. Put on your sound, please. You're muted. You're muted. Dr. Hung, you're muted. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to continue.
Yes, please. Put on a slideshow. Share your slideshow.
Yes. Right.
Have you found it?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Please
Yes.
carry on. Thank you.
Yes.
But
I would like to
I still don't see your slides. Share screen.
Do you see my screen?
No, I don't. I don't see your screen.
Yes. Okay.
Unless somebody else can see it, I don't see it. Get somebody to help you. Yeah.
Dr. Nguyen, should we help you with the share screen?
Yes.
Okay, we'll show it from Indonesia.
From the Secretariat.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Secretariat.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you have to go back a few slides.
Yes. Yes. You can see my screen?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Now I continue with my presentation. The second variety, that is the Qinghua variety. This variety is a fruit very quite large with the 2.6 and 3.1 kilogram per foot with the spherical in shape, uniformly yellow as ripening. The fruit fat is yellow, less fibrous, fragrant, sweet and creamy, fresh. The seeds are flat and dense. The edible position is quite high with the 28.8%. The fat which become massive when harvested less. The yield of is relatively high and stable with 300 kilograms per tree per year in 20-year-old tree. The third variety, that is the Dona variety. This variety have fruit quite large. It's 2.5 to 4.5 kilogram per fruit, usually in creamy recon in shape. Rind is yellow brown at ripening. The flesh is green light yellow in color with medium fiber content, sweet and creamy taste, medium aroma, and many freshes, high edible proportion with more 30%. The fruit is relatively high and stable with 140 kilograms per year per tree in the 9-year-old tree average. Now I would like to present some results, study done about the durian in Vietnam. The first, that is the breeding activity. The research on durian breeding in Vietnam currently carried out by mainly at The Sofri is the Southern Earth Fruit Research Institute. In the recent year, Sofri had bred and selected the potential Durian variety or lines. In this last year, Sofri released new cultivar is SRSB11 and two potential line hybrid line that are the RM20 and RM22 with a very good characteristic. Now I would like to introduce the some new variety. The new variety is a SRSB11. This produce vigorous growth and development and balanced horizontal branch forming wider conical canopy. The upper fruit is large with a spare high tone, turning greenish, yellow, and ripening. The average weight of is 3.2 kilogram per fruit. The fruit flesh is dark yellow. You can see very yellow. In the fragrant, less fibrous and less solid. Grain in the thickness of the flesh is 13.6 millimeter, with a high edible proportion is 35%, and flesh is very high with 57.5%. That is the new variety. In Sofri, they selected two potential hybrid line with the RM20 and RM22. This is the potential hybrid line, the RM20. A hybrid offspring of the crossing by I6 with the Dorian variety. The fruit had an oven shape with from 3.2 to 3.7 kilogram. And ripening, the rind turn yellowish green and tone are large and spare. The flesh is light yellow, grained, smooth, less fiber and less solid. The fruit flesh is about 21.68 millimeter in average, with high edible proportion, about 33.35%. The flesh state is creamy and sweet, brick level at 26.5. The proportion of flesh is very high. The next potential hybrid line, that is RM22. The hybrid offspring of the crossing between two cultivar I6 and Dorian. The fruit is oblong, weighs from 2.6 to 3.0 kilogram. And ripening, the rind is yellowish green and 11 to 12 millimeter rigid. Tones is pointed and medium distributed. The fruit flesh is yellow, grain smooth, less fibrous, and less solid. The thickness of the fruit flesh is 21 to 0.26 millimeter in average, making high edible proportion, about 34.36%. Tasting creamy, sweet, with brick at 25.8%. The proportion of freshes is relatively high, reaching its 83.87%. Very high ratio of the freshes. About the Durian propagation in Vietnam. You know, Vietnam in recent year, in Vietnam, durian had been propagated by different grafting methods, including budding method, grafting method. In the most commonly
Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes. Maybe later to give some injury time. Just playing football, injury time. So maybe after this. Dr. Heng, oh, you know him. I think the slide presentation, was it by the secretary or was it Dr. Heng? Bu Rui. Was the presentation by the secretariat or by Dr. Heng himself?
By Dr. Heng himself.
Okay. That's why I think he's got bandwidth problem there. The connection is not good. Let's hope he comes on. Okay, he should be on now. Oh. Okay, Dr. Heng, please.
Yes.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Hope we can maintain your line.
Yes.
Yeah. Please.
Now I continue.
Yes, please.
Yes, about the Durian propagation in Vietnam. You know, in previous years in Vietnam, Durian was propagated by many species. But in recent years, in Vietnam, Durian had been propagated by different grafting methods, including budding methods, grafting methods. But the most commonly used grafting methods in Vietnam is grafting. The commonly used rootstock for grafting is the Durian variety Qinghua Xanh. You can see this Qinghua Xanh, this variety is not very good quality, but very good for use for rootstock. About the cropping system for Durian in Vietnam. You know, in Vietnam we have the two cropping system. Yes, the first cropping system, that is the monocropping system. This system is mainly grown in the Mekong Delta provinces and Southeast provinces, with the spacing of 3 between 3 and 3 between line and line is 6 and 6 to 6 and 8 meter in the Mekong Delta, and it's a 10 to 10 with 10 meter in the Southeast province. The second cropping system, that is the intercropping system. This system mainly grow in the Central Highland province. Intercrop with the short leaf crop, such as corn, rice. This is in Mekong Delta, in Southeast region. Intercrop with fruit tree, such as avocado, banana in the Central Highland. You can see that is monocrop in the Mekong Delta, monocrop in the Southeast region. But in the intercrop, that's intercrop system, that is intercrop with black pepper. It's intercrop with fruit, that is jackfruit. And another intercrop that is intercrop with a long leaf industry crop. For example, this is tea, black pepper, cashew nut, in Central Highland provinces. About the pruning technical. The pruning technique had been widely applied in durian growing in Vietnam. The technique of pruning to increase the canopy is applied after planting. On mature tree, the primary branch kept at a distance of 40 to 70 centimeters. In the mature tree, it's a different distance from branch to branch is 40 to 70 centimeters. Pruning is conducted as soon as fruit harvest finishes to stimulate concentrated new buds formation, reducing scattering flower production. This year, in the new durian growing area, the technique of the cutting top of the tree in order to have the lower canopy had begun to be applied. You can see in the screen with now is a new planting area. The farmer cut top of tree to have the lower canopy. About the research on fertilization, there have been a number of research on fertilizing for durian have been published in Vietnam. In the new planting stage, the synthetic NPK fertilizer with the amount of the 0.6 kilogram per plant with the plant 1 year and gradually increase up to 3.5 kilogram per plant in the 4-year tree. At the fruit stage, the appropriate amount of fertilizer vary from region to region. In the Mekong River, Mekong Delta province, the approximate amount of fertilizer is about 1.5 kilogram nitrogen, plus with 1.7 phosphate, plus with the 0.7 kilogram potassium per plant per year, and plus with small amount of organic fertilizer. In Central Highland provinces, the appropriate amount of fertilizer is approximate 30 kilogram of the organic fertilizer, plus with 10 kilogram of the single fertilizer NPK per plant per year. Amount of the inorganic fertilizer is divided into 5 to 6 times per year.
Dr. Hung, can you wrap up in 2 minutes?
Yes, okay. In Vietnam, you know, it's salt water intrusion is happening more and more in Mekong Delta province, affecting to agricultural crop in the general, in durian in particular. The obtained results show that the application of some minor nutrients such as the PK, calcium, silic, and bioorganic products could overcome the problem of the root rot and leaf drop due to influence of the saline water. About the flower induction, to spend the harvest, the off-season of flowering technique for durian is being widely applied in Vietnam. The commonly applied technique is combine mulching to grid rows in the rainy season with the propagation treatment. When propagation is treated, but did not cover the soil to completely dry out, the plant is flower in 2 phases with the interval of the 1 month. The common use concentration of the propagation is 1,000 to 1,600 ppm. About the durian process product, you know, in Vietnam, durian is processed into a number of the products for domestic consumption or for export. Processed products that consume domestic include durian cream, ice cream, durian powder, coconut candy, and pear cake. Processed products used for export include the frozen durian and dried durian. About the Vietnam durian export, Vietnam food export turnover in 2019 reached 3.1 billion US dollar. It's 8%. The value of the durian had increased this year. Export value reached high it's 300 million US dollar in 2011, and export value decreased slightly in the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2019, Vietnam durian was exported to 10 different countries in the world. Now I would like to present the obstacles in the durian product in Vietnam. The first is the quality of the young plants. The new planting is difficult to control. Second is small scale household production in intercropping system is difficult to apply scientific and technical advances. Overexploitation of durian tree for high yielding weakens the tree rapidly. There are not many processed products made from durian. The linkage between production cooperative and enterprise is weak. The export market is unstable. The impact of climate change creates a favorable condition for pests and disease to thrive in durian growing area in central Highland and Mekong Delta. The last green, that is a development orientation, our orientation. The first is to continue to expand the area durian under durian cultivation, reaching 75,000 hectares and productivity of 950,000 tons by 2030. Breed and develop new durian variety of the high end and quality, easy to introduce, flower and harvest. Studying and developing cultivation technique for each variety cultivar and its ecological reason. Enhance application of tool processing technology, expanding consumption markets, and increasing export value and volume. The last, develop linkage in value chain from production to market. Yes, that is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hung. Very informative presentation.
Yes.
There are a few key points. I think there's one point you mentioned from 210 to 220. There's been a very rapid development in growing areas from 17,006 to 20,000 hectares, to 70,000 hectares, and that's a big area. Now, of course, you mentioned a little on some of the varieties and the climate and so on. But maybe we'll save the questions for later since you've taken up injury time. So I'll just go on next. Thank you so much again, Dr. Hung. We'll see you again during question and answer time. Okay, thank you so much. I'll just move on to the next presenter from Thailand. Okay, from Thailand, we have Mr. Panusak Saipanish. Are you on, Mr. Panusak? Yeah, Panusak, are you on? Mr. Panusak, are you on? Mr. Panusak, are you online?
For Mr. Panusak, he will present so we have the video and we will play the video.
Oh, okay. So I'm talking to the video. Sorry. Okay. So all right. Please put on this video. Thank you.
And I am looking forward to presenting to you today about current durian industry in Thailand. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. To myself, once again, I am Panusak Saipanish, a president of Thai Durian Association or TDA Thailand. Durian is one of Thailand's most important food crops. The growing areas mainly in the east and south and the most revenue for Thailand fruit export. Currently, I export durian at a rate of 35% of all fruits. This graph represents Thailand durian export situation from 2015 to 2021. It continues to expand and the value growth from 2009 to 2000% with 75.9% global market share. China currently accounts for 70% of all durian export on the global market, and this figure is expected to rise. The overall volume from January to September this year is higher than the total year last year. In the coming harvesting season, we expect to see even more. This graph indicates a monthly report on durian export for the years 2020 and 2021. In April and May, we usually export the most durian from east of Thailand. Another one most export is in July and August from south of Thailand. However, based on situation or weather, the harvesting season has changed. Thailand durian production is expanding as the number of plantations grows. The output is expected to be 1.5 million tons in 2021. However, we estimate an output of 2 million tons in the following 4 years. In the year 2020, this graph represents durian export by type. Fresh durian is the most popular export kind, accounting for roughly 90% of total volume. Thailand's main market is China, following by Hong Kong and other Asian countries accordingly. Next, frozen durian at 8% and other in that order. This graph also shows that fresh durian has a value of roughly 95%, while frozen durian has a value of 4%. Furthermore, the value of dried durian is very high, as demand for dried durian from European countries is expanding. Next, let's talk about the species of durian in Thailand. หมอนทองก้านยาวพวงมณีชะนี and กระดุมทอง are the most common durian species exported from Thailand. However, Thailand has a wide range of species, and we are working on generating new kinds that will be ready for export shortly, such as Chanthaburi 1, Chanthaburi 2, Chanthaburi 3, Chanthaburi 10, Nuan Thong Chan, and Long Rap Re. Each of these species, we can say, has its own color, flavor, and aroma. These new species are being introduced to the market. Of course, the feedback has been positive, but the plant has yet to be widely cultivated. Let's go to the next point. I will discuss how to be smart farmer for intensive management. In fact, discussing these issues in depth might take hours or even a day. So, because we are running out of time, I will tie things up for you. First, pollination. Pollination in nature is done by the wind or by insects such as moths. However, as the amount of plantation grows, so does the number of insects. Pollination is becoming a frequent method in durian plantations to increase the opportunity to become fruit. Hand-cross pollination is advised while the flower is in bloom. The farmers use brush or broom or handy sprayer to do pollination. Pruning. Pruning is very helpful in farm management. The immature durian trees are pruned by eliminating some branches during the first few years following planting. Pruning has several advantages. For starters, it reduces the danger of pests and disease, since pests might hide or spread under the leaves. As a result, we must prune as needed. Next, the ease of management. The foliar sprayer becomes more efficient and allowing all leaves to get sunlight. Then the trees become healthy and ready to produce the fruits. Pruning can be done in a variety of ways. The range, the width, and even the shape of the crown. Everything is an element that must be understood and decided before pruning. Pruning the durian tree is the skill and foundation of great success. Even for Thai durian farmers and researchers, we are studying about the techniques, and our academic department in TDA is providing videos on the platform. It is very attractive for the durian farmers. After the pruning of the durian tree, the technology used in the farm is also important in accordance with the design of your durian tree. Not all technology are appropriate for your farm. If you want to use a drone sprayer, for example, the canopy should be acceptable for this technology by pruning the tops of trees with the appropriate design and height. However, if you want to use speed sprayer car, the farm design is in terms of distance and structure is the most important consideration. The use of technology in plant protection, on the other hand, is highlighted when it comes to the issue of labor, especially during a pandemic. Also reduce the cost of production. Lastly, GAP or Good Agricultural Practice with the goal of improving the safety and quality of durian products to meet the consumers' demand for higher standards. The main 5 factors under GAP are: first, agricultural equipment management; second, planning and controlling in management; next, soil management; then data collection, and lastly, manage factors of production. Only farms that follow GAP and be qualified are able to export these days, as the packing house requires GAP after cutting durian. As a result, the government and TDA are persuading farmers to obtain GAP by following these recommendations. This is not only the right reason, providing outstanding products to customers, but also their personal safety while on the work. Finally, the presentation comes to a close. Thank you for your time and consideration. Unfortunately, I am unable to participate in today's event. So if anyone has any question, please send an email or contact us using the details provided. In the near future, we would be more than happy to respond and collaborate. I am Panisak Saipanit from the Thai Durian Association or TDA, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. ขอบคุณครับ
Yes. Can you please?
Tina, ada masalah ni. Awak ada masalah ni.
Can you please? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Secretary, thank you for playing that video, but I have to apologize. I actually forgot to introduce Mr. Panusak. Panusak is actually, he's an engineer. He's an engineer, and he got his degree from Kasisat University, and later MBA from the ASEAN University. But he ventured into durian farming, so he's also a grower, durian grower, and right now he is the president. I think is it? Yes, he's the president of the Thailand Durian Association. That's why you mentioned TDA. That's the Thailand Durian Association. Yes, we appreciate some of his we appreciate what he discussed with us, but he was discussing more on the farm practices. I think good farm practices. Yeah. So well, it's unfortunate he can't be with us during question and answers, but well, like you mentioned, he has his email there and phone number. So anybody interested, maybe you can contact him direct. Okay, thank you, Secretary, for playing the video. Also, indirectly, thank you to Mr. Panusak. We'll follow through with the next presenter from Philippines. I believe it's Dr. Rowena Varela. Are you on, Dr. Rowena? Are you online? Dr. Rowena, are you online? Please say yes. Dr. Rowena. Secretary, are there any indications that Dr. Rowena is online? Any feedback?
No, we don't see him.
You don't see? Okay, then then I think we'll move on first to the next paper from Dr. Johari from Malaysia.
I think she's here from. I think Dr. Rowena is online.
She's here, Dr. Rowena.
Yes, yes, sir. I am here.
Okay,
I was muted a while ago.
Okay, thank God.
Thank you very much.
All right,
So,
Dr.
can I request the Secretariat to share my presentation?
Yes, please. Okay, before that, I'll just see you have a lot to your CV is quite a mouthful, yes. But I'll just say Dr. Rowena is actually an entomologist, yeah, and she received her PhD from the University of Philippines, Los Baños, and Dr. Rowena has been involved in many activities, research publications, and also some scholarship fellowships. Yeah, it's a lot to mention here. So Dr. Rowena, pardon me if I can't read all, but very experienced person in fruit technology and also in entomology. Also, I think membership in many professional and scientific organizations. So, Dr. Rowena, without further ado, can you please share your presentation first?
Okay, thank you, Sir Yakub.
Yes, thank you very much.
Can I ask?
Yes,
can
please.
I ask the Secretariat please to share my presentation?
Okay, so is the Secretariat, all right? And can you please, then you can proceed, yeah? The space is yours now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Secretary, have you got a presentation? Secretariat?
Yeah, yes, we share the screen.
Okay, terima kasih ya. Thank you.
Okay, so my greetings to all the participants in this two-day event of the second International Symposium on Durian and other tropical fruits organized by the Indonesian Tropical Fruit Research Institute and its partners. To the various working committees, pleasant morning to all of you. I hope that everyone is safe and well. I am Rowena Varela, and I am from the Caraga State University in the Philippines. And I will be talking about the durian production in the Philippines, status and market prospects. So can I have slide 2? Okay, durian is among the fruits considered native to the Philippines. It naturally thrives in the rainforest in Mindanao. And it is one of the fruit crops in the Philippines which is popular, particularly in the southern island of Mindanao.
Excuse me,
Durian
Dr.
grows.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Dr. Can you hold on a second? Secretary, can you put it full screen, please? The slides.
Yeah.
Can you put it full screen? Yes, thank you. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you. So durian is popular in the southern island of Mindanao, which is closer to Indonesia, closer to Malaysia. And durian grows almost abundantly in Davao, in the Davao region, Cotabato region, Sulu, and also in the Agusan in the Caraga region. Durian production has an increasing trend with an annual growth of 13.9 and 2.07 for 2017 to 2018 and 2018 to 2019 respectively. Based on statistics, durian production in the country is only minimal, with only about 70,000 to 80,000 metric tons of fruits produced annually. Can I have slide 3, please? Okay. The distribution of durian in the Philippines is shown in this slide. And you can see that the concentration of durian production is in Mindanao down south, with the Davao region having the highest number of bearing durian fruits. Caraga region and the Sorsogon region in Cotabato area follow with 6,000 to 15,000 bearing trees. Other regions have only very low number of durian. However, as more people become accustomed to eating durian, there are already durian plantations developed through the years, particularly in Luzon and the Visayas areas. And these are already growing in these two other island groups. Can I have slide 4? Okay. In terms of area planted for durian production, the Davao region has the highest hectareage, around 8,300 hectares, which is about half of the total area planted to durian in the Philippines. Again, this is followed by the Sorsogon region in Cotabato and Caraga region, having a share of the total hectareage of about 13% and 11% respectively. Okay, next slide. Okay, in the Davao region, durian production has grown annually from 51,818 metric tons in 2017 to 60,248 metric tons in 2019. This is based from the data of the Philippine Statistics Authority. It is among the fruits monitored by the PSA annually, and durian production is done in monoculture or in combination with other crops. In the Davao region, durian is planted in monoculture, while in many areas in Caraga region, durian is planted with cooking banana variety as an intercrop. Durian is also included in the National Greening Program of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources to regreen the denuded mountains. So can I have slide 6, please? Okay, I would like to acknowledge the owner of this photo. This is from, yeah?
Dr. Rowena, can you please hold on? I don't see the slides now.
Yeah.
Secretary, can you put it on? Can we have the slideshow, please? I'm sorry, Dr. Rowena, just some minor glitch here. Secretary, can you please assist us? Okay, maybe Dr. Rowena, maybe you can just go on while they're fixing up the problem here. I think that, yeah, maybe you can just carry on while waiting for them to fix. Yes, while waiting for them to fix the problem. Thank you.
Okay. In terms of durian varieties, there are a number of durian varieties in the Philippines, and there are 10 varieties recommended by the Bureau of Plant Industry for commercial planting in the country. And these are the common selections, the DES 806 and DES 916, and also selections that are developed from introduced cultivars from Thailand, like Chani, Muntong, Umali, and CA3266. There is also another variety which is traditional in the Philippines, the Arancillo, and this is a small fruit with good eating quality. Some of these varieties are native to the Philippines, but many of the varieties that we have in the Philippines have their origin from Malaysia and Thailand. This is because the Bureau of Plant Industry went on an expedition to search for improved varieties of durian in the 1980s, and that is why we have a lot of durian varieties which are originating from Malaysia and Thailand.
I'm sorry, Dr. Romina, just interrupt you for a while, but do you have a copy of the slides? Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I have, sir.
So maybe
perhaps I can share it. Yeah.
Yeah. You share. It's better you share your copy. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my slide?
Yes. Can you put it full screen, please? Put it full screen, please.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I have been talking about.
It's still not full screen. It's still not full screen.
Not yet full screen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Wait. I have to go back. Yeah, and I have to minimize this part. Okay. So.
You have to put it back to full screen. Okay. Yes.
Okay. No, it's still. Okay. Okay.
What does it keep going back?
It's going back.
Well, actually, we can still see it. It keeps on going back. Then maybe you just go ahead. Can you move it?
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. I'm lost in my Zoom. Okay. Where is it now?
No,
I can only see the picture. Okay, here.
Okay, it's on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yes. I think yes. Yeah, we can still see it. Maybe you can just go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. The fruits of durian are generally sold locally, and durian is highly seasonal, and because of this, the durian fruits can only be seen in the months of July to November every year. It is during this time that durian is sold along the highways in Mindanao, like in the Davao-Agusan Highway, Davao-Cotabato Highway, Bukidnon, Davao Highway, and in Davao-Jensen Highway. When it is durian season, from a makeshift retail market along the highway.
Yeah, actually, your slides are moving. Are you still with us, Dr. Romina? Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think my slides are already mixed up. Okay. So durian have also found markets in the international arena, and I borrowed this photo from a local newspaper in Davao showing durian in the Australian market The popular Puyat variety of durian and duyaya are the ones already exported to Australia. And lately, vacuum-packed fresh durian from the Philippines have been seen in the markets in Perth and other parts of Australia. Okay, and durian. The Rosario's delicacies in Kalinan, who is among those who export durian to the USA in the form of vacuum-packed fresh durian. And in this slide, when in season, durian is everywhere in Davao City, in Butuan City, and in the Cotabato area. And in fact, people who are not fond of durian would say that everywhere just smells of durian. As everyone would say here in the Philippines, that durian smells like hell, especially for those who are not fond of durian. But for durian lovers, they would say that durian tastes like heaven. So during the durian season, the surplus produce is processed into durian tart, durian candies, durian yema, durian jam, and many more. And that is why when one visits Davao City, one can just grab these durian delights for pasalubong or something to take home. Okay. As I've said, durian is highly seasonal in the Philippines. And although there are already off-season durian fruits, but still it is highly seasonal. Because of the seasonality of durian, the price is very high that ordinary income earners cannot afford. At present, the price per kilogram of durian is ranging from $1.57 to $1.76 per kilogram. Then the problem of post-harvest losses is also experienced by the local traders when durian is in season. This is especially in the Caraga region where fruit processing is not yet done. In Davao, there are already processing of durian, but in Caraga region, there is no fruit processing yet done for durian. Okay. And in the field, durian production is challenged by pests and diseases. And that is why there are already durian plantations that are not economically or producing durian because of the challenges of pests and diseases. And in Caraga region, farmers experience the attack of Phytophthora palmivora that causes rot rot, dieback, and dieback of seedlings and trees. And then there is also this pythium attacking durian fruits, causing fruit rot. And recently there are also reports about fruit borers, but this pest is considered a minor issue in the Philippine durian production. So thank you very much. I hope that I have given you a perspective of the durian production status in the Philippines and the market prospects. Thank you very much for giving your time to listen to my presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Romina, for that informative presentation. Dr. Romina is from the, I mentioned Caraga State University, Dr. Romina, and I think you sort of encapsulated everything in this few slides, and maybe in doing question and answers, there are some participants who are wanting to get some feedback from you. Yeah, so hope you'll stay on until the question and answer session. Thank you so much again.
Thank you again, Sir Jacob.
Yes, thank you. Okay, for our next session, is somebody very close by. Okay, the next session is a Malaysian presentation. Presenter is Dr. Johari bin Sarip. who is the Director of Horticulture Research Center, MARDI, Malaysian Agriculture Research and Development Institute. Dr. Johari is actually a breeder. He studied molecular genetics. He had PhD from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Before that, he did his master's in Newcastle upon Tyne University in the United Kingdom. And his working experience as breeder, he worked with sapodilla, starfruit, mango, papaya, rambutan, and also durian. And of course, some varieties released under him, Chiku Mega, Mutiara Merah, rambutan, and also Mutiara Wangyu rambutan. And he has more than 200 publications, technical and semi-technical articles and books. So for our next speaker, I'd like to introduce Dr. Johari Sarip. Please, Dr. Joe, the floor is yours. Yes, the space is yours. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Assalamualaikum. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I would like to deliver my presentation entitled Current Durian Industry in Malaysia. Durian is one of the premium fruits along with pineapple, jackfruit, watermelon, mango, banana, mangosteen, papaya, and also starfruit. While Durian zabatinus is the main species, several wild species including Durio lawanus, graveolens, tigensis, and others also popular among people in Sabah and Sarawak. In earlier days, last decade, normally durian planted in the home garden, and now the crop become considered major crops, contribute significantly in terms of economic growth in our country. For the self-sufficiency ratio, SSR, for durian for 2019, is more than 100%, indicate sufficient supply, and also indicate there are very good potential for export. And that year, 2020, nearly 40% of the area growing with fruits covered or planted with durian trees, roughly about more than 70,000 hectares. And about 6% out of the total durian production from our country export to the our traditional export market, Singapore, more than 60%, followed by Hong Kong, more than 27%. We are quite lucky. In 2018, Malaysia has secured an export market access for frozen whole durian to China, and this is very important. And the impact from that, we can see our durian industry is gradually increased. Our export increased up to more than 170% in 2007 until 2018. So later on, then decreased to 30, decreased by 30%, most likely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, generally our main durian season in Malaysia fall in the middle of the year, starting from May until around October. And however, we notice a few minor season in several locations, such as in Pahang and Penang. They are produced around end and early month of the year. So our selected durian clones and accession can be characterized based on the National Test Guideline, or TG, which was developed in 2017 for conducting tests of the distinctness, uniformity, and stability, or UST. However, for most certification specific characteristic, such as total subsolid content, can be determined by using refractometers, and also skin and flesh color can easily recorded by using RHS color chart. Ladies and gentlemen, since early 1990s, Malaysian Agriculture Research and Development Institute, or MARDI, really give emphasize to develop new durian clones with the starting with the reciprocal crosses between 10 popular clones at the time, from D2, D3 until D96, and then followed by the development of the F1 hybrid plot, and resulted 501 progenies obtained to be assessed, and then our evaluation of the F1 hybrid was carried out, and we are using D24 as the check varieties. And for the next step, or step 4, selection of the F1 hybrid or potential hybrid, and this selection really based on the yield, food quality, and disease resistance as well. So from the result from the selection, we noticed or shortlisted about 10 potential hybrid, and then we run a clonal trial or GVI trial started in 1981. The result from that, we noticed a few progenies really have very potential candidates to be released. There are three clones here, 3 hybrid: MDOR 79, 78, and MDOR 88. All the 3 actually generated from the crosses between D24 and D10. However, currently we notice MDOR 88 is more popular than MDOR 78 and 79. MDOR 88 can be considered a prime clone. However, unlike Musang King derived from farmer selection, MDOR 88 was developed through a proper breeding program, which are using D24 as a maternal parents and D10 as a paternal parent. And this hybrid was released and registered as D190, and with high tolerance against stem canker or Phytophthora parmivora. The fruit size is about average. The weight is 1.5 to 2 kg with a oblong fruit shape. The skin color is yellowish green, and this hybrid easily to identify because they have very large and short pedicel, strong aroma, and good shelf life. Can sustain until 3 to 4 days at ambient temperature. Very good flesh with yellow orange color, medium fine texture, thick with a good, this is very important, very good combination of creamy, sweet, and bitter taste. The liqueur normally contain 1 to 3 pulp. So another MDOR, even MDOR 88, MDOR 78 and 79, can be considered high yielder clones. They produce a lot of fruits. This is the appearance of fruits of MDOR 78 and 79. But the most characteristic I want to share with you here is MDOR 78 together with D24 and Musang King normally drop at the peak season. But for MDOR 79 can be considered early season. They drop 1 week before peak season. Then MDOR 88 can be considered late season, drop about 1 week after peak season. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are 215 clones of durian registered under DOA or Department of Agriculture from D1 to D215. And the first entry is D1 registered in 1934. And the latest one is D215, registered in 2021. So our commercial durian clone in Malaysia, we think we can classify them in the three main categories based on the quality and also based on the performance of the clones. And Musang King and Mdur can be considered a prime clone. Then we have three groups under registered clone: the popular clones, common clones, and new clones. And also we have Kampung Durian and registered and unregistered popular clone. So Musang King can be considered as the Kampung Durian, which was grown by seed around 1980s. Then wait. Sorry, I can see my slide anyway. So Musang King can be we will see originated as a Kampung Durian, which was grown by seed around 1980s, and it changed the status from Kampung Durian to the clonal to the clone when the growers start propagate them through vegetatively propagation techniques. The clone can be considered farmer selection, and that's started to be popular among durian lover and growers. Until 2019, Musang King, 30% of the total commercial durian trees or areas in Malaysia is covered by the Musang King. So there are 9, the most promising, the most popular registered clone, the origin and the year registered. For example, is D2 was registered in Malacca in 1934, and also D24 is 1937. Is considered very old variety. And another clones, D160, registered in 1987. D175 in 1990, and D200 is 1916, and both clones registered in Pulau Pinang. And then we have D99 originated from Thailand and registered in Malaysia in 1970, and Musang King 197 registered in 1993. This clone originated from Kelantan. And D145 registered in 1981 in Pahang. And also we have one variety from Muar registered under as a D168. The characteristic of 8 popular varieties for D24, actually this variety is considered very easy flowering with high yield and quality, but highly susceptible to uneven fruit ripening or UFR, and also highly susceptible to Phytophthora. And D2 is highly with high quality fruits, but low yield and highly tolerance to Phytophthora. For D99, can be considered early season variety, tolerance against Phytophthora, and also dry period. And this variety is very popular to be pollinizer for other clones. And for D145, high quality, the flesh color is yellow-orange flesh, but a very low yield. And for variety Udang Merah, D175, high quality, also moderately good yield. However, the weakness of this clone is easily split, keeping quality not so good. For D160, the fruit quality is very good. Difficult to open means very good keeping quality, and D168 is high yield and high quality as well. And we also have D200, high quality. Also, the fruit is round in shape with significant growth. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to introduce Kampung Durian, an unregistered clone. Kampung Durian that won a durian competition will become popular, and then the selected plant will be the planting material of the with this specific plant. The planting materials is a lot of people will ask for the planting material, so the planting and this selected durian will be propagated through vegetal leaf propagated methods and become a clone, and the clone will be classified as a unregistered popular clone. These a few durian competition. These two gentlemen are very popular. These people we are in our conference here. This is my good friend. So it is a competition in Johor. We invite very special judge from Indonesia, and this also Dr. Kasik with me in the competition in 2018. It's 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the newcomers clone. So those clone registered after D200 consider as the newcomers. So there are 15 clones here, D201 until 2015, registered from 2016 until 2021. So the question is, how to ensure the newcomers clone can be sustained, can be commercialized, and still can remain their popularity. So with that, I think it really depends on the quality of the not only quality and performance of the clone, but the promotion need to be given to ensure the variety can be sustained. So now we move to the major diseases. Actually, we only have two main disease for durian is stem canker caused by Phytophthora parvivora, and also leaf blight caused by Rhizoctonia, and also we have Mudaria for seed borer and husk borer. Typically, Malaysian durian are harvested when there are naturally dropped from the trees. So we Malaysian prefer durian at full ripe stage as they are excellent taste, texture, and aroma. So net or nylon tie normally used to avoid mechanical injury during fruit drop, and also some process started with collection from the field, cleaning the fruit, salting, and also grading is needed before the fruit will be market.
Excuse me, Dr. Johari, is 2 minutes sufficient for you to finish your
Oh,
slide?
yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yep. So for export to the long distance, new technique is needed. That's cryogenic freezing for the whole fruit of durian. Especially then we use liquid nitrogen for this process. Then we ensure the fruit will be freeze less than 1 hour. This requirement is needed for the durian to be transport to China. We also develop minimal processed durian. And with this method, the flesh of durian can sustain or remain fresh, and we also can avoid the smell go out from the containers. Normally, our durian, local durian, mainly market and roadside. I think that the big proportion, nearly 40%, followed by the night market, about 20%, and another 20% in farmers market, and the wholesale only 10%. So, ladies and gentlemen, for a new approach in Malaysia, we are introduced tourism. Tourism is a part of the agritourism. 5 concepts will be emphasized in this tourism. Then we got to harmonize these 5 concepts, started with technology, together with innovation, and also conservation. And we also superimpose with the education and regression. This is very important to ensure the sustainability and viability of the Malaysian durian industry. Then with the technology generated for R&D can be introduced in this tourism industry. So far we have one tourism at Mardi, Kuala Kangsar. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the conclusion. Malaysian durian industry has transformed from small scale to the export-oriented commodity, and also research and development areas need to be emphasized. Number 1, development of new clones with a true farmer selection or breeding proper breeding program, and also a new and effective pollination agent need to be studied. And while the utilization of the wild durian species might be as for the rootstock and other things need to be utilized, and also some study to prolong a fruit season is needed. Biological control and biopesticide for pest and disease management need to be upgraded. And the final one is very important. There's a new technology in smart farming need to be introduced to increase production efficiency and production. And finally, engagement with the industrial player is needed to commercialize the technology generated by the true agri expansion, agritourism, and so on. With that, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I end my presentation. Thank you very much, and terima kasih. Thank you, Mr. Yaakob.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johari Sharif. Very relevant, very informative presentation. I think you gave a total overview of what's happening in Malaysia relating to the durian industry, from breeding work right till what's happening now, export in the cryogenic form. Thank you so much. The next speaker is from hometown, Dr. Pancha Jarod Santoso. Can you please put on your slideshow, please? Okay, Dr. Pancha has got a PhD in biology from School of Biological Science and Technology, IPB, Indonesia. This is a master's from UPM, Malaysia. And of course, his work experience, he worked a lot with genetic and plant breeding in the field of genetic plant breeding, and he's presently a researcher at ITFR Indonesia. He's also written a lot of publications, published 67 articles in Journal and Proceedings, wrote 54 non-scientific articles, and has released 18 new varieties of horticultural commodities. Dr. Pancha has also got this very nice picture in his CV, which I can show you. Anyway, Dr. Pancha, I'll just let you go ahead with the presentation. The space is yours. The spotlight's on you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Full screen, please.
It's okay, my presentation?
It's not in full mode. Huh?
Yes. Ya, jadi ada problem.
Full screen, please.
Ya, okay.
Yeah, okay. Should be okay now. Belum lagi.
Ini apa? Yang kuning-kuning. Tapi nak keluar ya. Wait,
Okay, no problem.
It's okay, Pak Yaakob.
Belum lagi Pak, belum, no, still editing mode. Belum full screen lagi ya.
Ada kuning. Stop dulu. It's okay? Not yet, I think. It's ada kuning itu masih.
So, Pak, Pak Jarod, maybe if you stop share and then you share one more time. Stop share, share one more time. Oh, yeah, share one more time.
Yeah. Okay. Ini sudah.
Masih boleh ya?
Atau di close aja dulu. Ya, close aja. Stop. Oke. Iya.
Okay, one last time.
Close aja semua.
Yeah, share one more time.
Okay.
Okay,
It's okay.
thank you. Silakan Pak.
Okay. Sorry for the technical problem. Thank you, Mr. Yaakob, for introducing me to this symposium. Let's say I start. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is my honor to be in this symposium to deliver country representative current durian industry in Indonesia. So, ladies and gentlemen, talking about durian industry in Indonesia, at least there are 4 milestones of visit we experienced it. In firstly, April 1600 era. At the time, durian is one of the main crops with very close and coloring community daily life. Therefore, we can find various menu and processing food that are available and heritage today, such as lombok, tempoyak, etc. And also, we can find hundreds names of villages and other places that use the word durian, like and other synonym like durian, kado, duren, and also many synonym of durian used as a name of place. The second is post era 1600 era. This durian the time received less attention due to forced cultivation by the VOC for estate crops. While durian only function as a shading plant. The third is we call it Musang Era in 1980s because in this era begin with the emerging the montong. It's quite surprisingly because the extra size, extra large size is very different compared to native Indonesian durian, which generally smaller. It's also bringing a new perspective that the superior durian is the big size. The presence of mountain also wakened up the development of durian in Indonesia, which was sparked by the start of registration durian varieties in 1984 by the Ministry of Agriculture. Where further development is still a small scale and only in backyard, because at the time the agricultural business dominated by oil palm. That booming at the time. The last era is the Musang Era. This start with the emerging of Musang, which stole our attention with the attractive taste and fresh color. The presence of Musang has changed the perspective of superior durian from big size like montong, shifting to the strong taste like Musang. And it's very high price. It's encouraged many parties to start durian business, not only on the ordinary farmer, but also state-owned enterprise and small to large private investor. Talking about the durian industry in Indonesia, Indonesia has potential to become a leading producer actually, which is supporting by the resourcing, including genetic resources. As a center of origin, we are the home of 421 durian species. Also, it also abundant interspecies genotype potential for picking super clones. Secondly, we have land resources. Indonesia has an area stretching 5,000 kilometers from 91 to 141 degree east longitude. Also, the data in Ministry of Agriculture show that in Indonesia, available land more than 27.5 million hectares that's suitable for fruit trees, especially for durian. The length of the land also provides an advantage of year-round harvesting season. In this graph, we observed in 2012 and 2013, so that throughout the year, here in Indonesia, there were areas that during durian harvesting season. Thirdly, our resources, we have 38.9 million people who engage in agriculture. This is about 30% of the workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, as a native crop, durian has a fairly high contribution in the agri-industry in Indonesia. Statistics show that in 1999, durian production was ranked number 5 among fruit commodities, with production reaching 1.7 million tons, harvested from 105,000 hectares. The fruit are produced by all 34 provinces. But we have 5 top producers, namely East Java Province, Central Java, West Java, North Sumatra, and West Sumatra. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of developed cultivar, until 2020, Ministry of Agriculture already registered 104 varieties. This consisting 99 native varieties or clone and 5 varieties introduced one. This variety consists of 3 species. We have the Durian civetinus as the main variety, 96. There are also 5 varieties from Durian and 3 varieties from Durian cornatus. Among the varieties developed in Indonesia, there are 3 most popular here. Unfortunately, all the three is introduced one. The first is Montong, or here also called as Otong. The second is Chani or Bawar. Also, the third is Musang King. While we have also the native varieties that start to also develop it. The first is Matahari, this from Bogor, Namlong, Petaling, and Super Tembaga Tramat from Bangka. These three is now start to be developed across the province, and also Si Memang, this from Banjarnegara, developed in Central Java, Lai Mahakam in East Kalimantan, Ripto in East Java. Also, other provinces, they have own varieties beside the three popular durian. In addition to the registered varieties that I mentioned before, Indonesia also has potential in the other species rather than Duriosibetidus, like Cutiensis. There's so many genotype around East Kalimantan that should be commercialized. Also Mandong and Mantuala, and also Kerantungan. This the good is very, the taste is very good. The Kerantungan that this potential to be commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, to support development of durian, actually government realized that the seedling is very important. So since 2020, the government has made a policy in seedling system through Agriculture Ministry Act number 46 year 2012 concerning production, certification, and supervision of the circulation of horticulture seed. They include durian there. Based on the act, production durian seed are referred to the scheme we call single clone propagation scheme. They start from selecting the single mother tree. So why Musang King here we call M. Ultimate, because we are picking one single tree to be the mother tree to develop in Indonesia that we pick in the Hortimat farm. Also the second later on after single mother tree we make the foundation block and then sign propagation block. Also the nursery this private nurseryman to produce extension seed circulating to the public. For the technique, we generally in Indonesia we use grafting and budding techniques. That's a common techniques. Also, we use top walking to replace the unnamed durian, and then also there is multiple roots, and the most popular now is dongkelan, with this the extra big size, producing seed by dig it up. For durian seedling production in Indonesia, we have describe actually the average per year is about 1.46 million seedling. This equal to 14,000 hectare. And the durian seedling by province, we can see that the Central Java is the top producer of seedling. we trying to pick one sample from Central Java province that before 2017 the production of seedling is dominated by the montong durian. This is the montong durian, and then after 17 there's already shifting to chani or popular with Bower. Also, this followed by Durian Montong still, also Musang and Durian Simemang, the local durian in Central Java. Based on the harvested area, we can see that in last 11 years, the production already increased double from 60,000 hectares to 105,000 hectares. This equal to 46,000 hectares per year. Then this equal to 4,400 hectares. We can see that from this graph that according to legal certified seeding production that we mentioned before in the graph, first graph, that a production per year reaching 1.4 thousand is equal to 14,000 hectare per year, but the harvested area only 4,000. That means the successful planting ratio is only 30.3%. This is one of our problem. Many growers fail to produce a durian. In terms of durian production, in the last 50 years, the durian production in Indonesia increased 100.7%, means that in average 6.60% per year, that equal to 37,000 tons per year. Durian fruit production by province year 2005 to 2020, we can see that East Java is the top production, and then followed by Central Java, West Sumatra, North Sumatra, and South Sulawesi. Ladies and gentlemen, since the emergence of Musang, like I said before, that cultural practices shifting from the small farmer to the orchard. From the farmer, now many investors take a part for the durian business. So the skills now change from the home yard and to the, we can found 10 to 100 hectare new orchard of durian. They apply the advanced technology like mechanization, pipe irrigation, and so on. In terms of harvesting and fruit handling, actually Indonesia is not much move because productive trees are still dominated by the small holder, small farm, and backyard. So meanwhile, the large-scale modern orchard have not yet entered the production period because we just start in 1917. So, however, pre-harvest such as fruit binding are mostly carried out by the farmers to maintain fruit safety because durian is generally harvested by drop. Also, several farmers have also started to tining the fruit, also applied fruit baking to get more quality durian. Like wasted technique for likewise the harvesting and food handling. Technique for harvesting and food handling for some reason, but have not developed yet. The farmer generally still do not pay attention to the safety of the fruit. For example, they still put harvested fruit direct on the ground without the base. Also, bulky transportation like on a basket, also on truck. But for few traders, especially now for premium durian, have started to use better packaging to ensure the safety of the fruit consumer. Harvesting of dropped durian is poses a limitation in the long distance delivery of red durian, as the fruit ripen quickly. Therefore, minimal processing in the form of frozen peeled like this and pasta is the best choice to save the fruit. There's also related to fruit sauce that is still from a mixture of type and quality. Through frozen products, they can be shortened according to the fresh quality or mixed into the pasta product. Other common processing product like in other country, there are many food processing like for snack, beverage, and other. For marketing, in general, there are two patterns for fruit spread. For fresh fruit, regular durian and premium durian. For
Excuse me,
regular durian, yes.
Pak Jarod, is 2 minutes enough for you?
Okay,
Two.
yeah, enough.
Thank you.
For regular fruit, mainly harvested from mixed farm are sold in traditional market or night market that open late afternoon and late evening. This in every city we can find the selling area like this. Also for for premium durian now the way to selling is by direct selling on site in the farm through agrotourism, also online ways. Now also already developed a premium store that only sell the premium durian like Musang, Bawor, and selected to local durian that premium. For marketing export, for export market, Indonesia is still take a very low portion, which is still below 0% of the total national product. So export generally occur via traditional cross-border to Malaysia via Antikong and Nunukan, while recorded export are dominated by processing product, mainly the pasta and other processing. I think that's a current situation of durian industry in Indonesia. However, much obstacle to be done in the future to strengthen the durian industry in Indonesia to be pay attention. This on farm is how to increasing successful planting ratio, how to maintain fruit quality related to specific procedures of fertilization, and then how to control pests, mainly for diseases, maturity index, because we have many clones, and also how to make outdoor proof packaging, also utilize the waste product and do long-term sleep. And last but not least, I think we need collaboration to solve all the problem. And I asked Mr. Jacob from TFNet to coordinate that collaboration. I think that's all, Pak Jacob. I back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jarod. I think for that overview of the durian scenario in Indonesia, it's very informative. But as you all notice, in every country which we discussed in the past 1 hour, every country is trying to develop the durian industry so that they can progress to something better, maybe develop the export crop or just increase the production. Yeah. So we have only 4.5 minutes for question and answers. So I just want to make sure that the speakers are online. If you want to ask a question, you can either put it in the chat or raise your hand. You want to raise your hand, you can use the alternate Y key. Okay. Any questions? It's open now. Okay, maybe I'll start with a question. I'm going to ask our friend from Vietnam, Dr. Hung. Are you online? Dr. Hung. Okay, he's not online. I didn't see him. But okay, there's a question. Okay, sorry, there's a raised hand by Dr. Sukartini, yeah? IITFRI. Yeah, silakan. Please go ahead, Dr. Sukartini. Yes, Dr. Sukartini, you raise your hand. Is there a question, Dr. Sukartini? Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you. Your volume is off. Okay, then maybe I'll ask a question first. Maybe my next question is to my friend Dr. Johari. So Dr. Johari, thank you so much. It's a very informative presentation. But I just want to ask Dr. Johari, are there any attempts to look at the other side, to look at Sabah and Sarawak? I think they have a lot of potential clones there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think in Sabah and Sarawak, they are look for the new potential clone for Durian Zabatinus. And I think we need some quite a little bit aggressive in terms of promotion. We need to promote more about Zabatinus rather than native species. So they are very, I think the community there, they are very familiar and close with the native species. And they are not really keen to try the Zabatinus. But Zabatinus, normally we got to plant with the proper planting system. Compared with the native species, normally they are grown like they are grown naturally in their home garden. So we need to introduce new methods and new technology how to growing durian. I mean, a commercial durian. Now we are referring to the Zabatinus. I'm very sure there's a very new culture for them. Talking about planting durian. Normally they are harvest from the garden or nature around their community.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Johari, for the response. Okay, now I'll go back to Dr. Sukartini. You had a question?
Hello?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you now, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, my first response and question to Mr. Panusa from Thailand.
Okay, he's not here, but you can ask a question.
Okay. I saw durian planted in a very neat and good cropping system in Thailand. Whether the durian plantation is owned by individual farmers, private companies, or owned by government. And in the second question, what pests and disease often attack durian in Thailand, and how far does molecular research go to deal with this problem? And for Dr. Rowena from Philippines, what local cultivar from Mindanao are most famous for their specific superior characters, and what superior characteristics are typical of Mindanao when it comes to Mindanao's ecology? And what is the role of Mindanao's local durian to improve the industry from the Philippines? And to Dr. Johari, your presentation is interesting about breeding program. in durian breeding in Malaysia, apart from conventional individual selection. As we know, the selection of individual progenies takes a long time. Is there an early selection at the seedling stage, particularly by using molecular techniques? And how about Dr. Hung, Pak Jacob?
Yeah, please. You can just you can present a question first. Yeah. You can ask a question.
Okay. For Mr. Hung, my next question is, what characters are intended for the cross between RI6 crossed by Donna? Are the targeted character found at RM20 and RM22? I see the SRHB11 cultivar has an attractive yellow color in flesh. Is the cultivar not used as a parent in the assembly of new durian cultivars? I think enough. And for Mr. Jarod, maybe I don't need to ask further because I can ask in our office. I hope that this symposium can open up opportunities for research collaboration with other countries equally especially in the aspect of the molecular aspects. Thank you, Pak Jacob.
Thank you, Dr. Sugeng. Thank you so much for those questions. I'm not sure whether are there any representatives from Thailand here in this room? Are there anybody from Thailand? Please say yes if there anybody from Thailand. Dr. Jingta, are you here? Okay, there seems to be no response. I'll go to the next one. There's one question directed to Dr. Rowena. Then we go on to Dr. Johari, and I'll find out where Dr. Hung is around. But maybe Dr. Rowena, you can respond to what Dr. Sukratini just asked. Thank you.
Can I have the question again? I was not able to catch up the question.
I think Dr. Sukratini was asking about the characteristics of the durians in Mindanao, whether there are any very positive and good clones coming out from Mindanao. Am I correct, Dr. Sukratini?
Yes. What superior characteristics from typical on Mindanao durians?
Yeah.
Okay. As to the selections from Mindanao, most of these are already hybrids from Malaysian and Thailand varieties, but these are also being developed or manipulated by the plant breeders here in the Philippines. But as I presented earlier, mostly these are from lines coming from Thailand and Malaysia, although we have also the traditional varieties here in the Philippines, but generally these are the small types of durian, like Arancilio. So right now, what we are promoting there are two local varieties here in the Philippines, and there are also those coming from Malaysia and Thailand, which are already upgraded or suited, manipulated by the plant breeders to suit to the conditions here in the Philippines, not only in Mindanao, because right now planting of durian has already expanded, not only in Mindanao, but there are already people or farmers planting durian in the Visayas region.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Rowena. Is that okay, Dr. Sukratini? Your response?
How about the tolerance of local variant from Mindanao for disease Phytophthora? I think Phytophthora or stem canker, maybe. You have cultivar, yes.
Tolerance of the local varieties here in Mindanao. Of course, if these varieties are native here in Mindanao, the tolerance is better, the tolerance is higher. Like right now, wherein we are experiencing climate change, they are already here for so many decades, and so these local varieties are more tolerant than the introduced ones. But nonetheless, when we talk about introduced durian varieties from Thailand and Malaysia, because the conditions here are just like this, are just the same with Thailand and Malaysia being also a tropical country. So there's not much problem. Only that, of course, in terms of growth, in terms of productivity, there are still studies conducted, and because durian production is not given so much importance in the Philippines, but only here in Mindanao. So that is why only very few people are working on durian. Few plant breeders, few agriculturists are working on durian.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Rowena. I think we'll move on to the next question. Dr. Johari, I think there was a question on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Dr. Sukarti. For the we have another tentative combination methods during development of a new variety. Of course, this conventional method needs quite long duration of time. But in durian case, actually started very long time ago. And now we have one center, what we call the Center for Molecular CMDV, yes, CMDV, Center for Molecular and Validation, just to validate the purity of the planting material and so on. So in durian, we ensure those people going to plant a new variety or a new seedling, the planting material must be genuine. So we are using that center, validation center in Mardi, to validate, to ensure the planting material is pure. Another one, we also, this validation center also can be utilized to do some sort of screening process to screen and to ensure the new variety, a new genotype engage or link together with certain characteristic needed. For example, resistant to Phytophthora and so on. But to me, even we have these kind of facilities, talking about breeding methods, we cannot save too much time. I mean, the time or duration needed to develop new variety still required. So maybe we can do something like we can make a fast track to screen for certain characteristic. Means we can reduce the populations during the conventional screening. So let's say we really give emphasis for certain characteristic, for example, resistant characters. Those seedling without that characteristic, we can eliminate very early stage to ensure the population is not too big. We really give very good target for the population to ensure the next screening, the certain desirable trait needed is already there. So it means we can save in terms of cost and accuracy as well during the screening process. Thank you very much. I hope I can answer you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Johari. I think we have to stop now because just to be fair to the next session, I think the question on Thailand, maybe later this evening when we have the panel, we can still discuss some of the questions. Yeah. So I sure appreciate all the speakers again. Thank you so much for your very informative presentation. Okay, just to appreciate them, can you all please unmute yourself and let's give them a clap. Please unmute yourself and then let's make some clap. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers. Thank you so much. I'd like to pass the session to the By the MC, please, by the MC. Thank you so much.
Thank you to our keynote speakers and moderator for delivering such a constructive information and knowledge. For now, we will have another photo session of this second day of conference. Our honorable speakers, moderators, participants, ladies and gentlemen, please turn on your camera. Please give us your sweetest smile. Is it okay? Okay, I will count. 1. Oh, not everyone open their camera. All right, I think it's okay. Okay, I will count 1, 2, 3. Say cheese. Another 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you very much. So, we are going to continue our conference with the plenary session. Similar to the first day of the conference for parallel session, it will be shared in the same room. Please see your book program to find out the session virtual room. Before that, we are going to show you some tutorial of choosing the virtual rooms for the next parallel session. Can you help me, Mr. Henry? Please wait up for a moment. Okay, so for the choosing the breakout room, you can choose the breakout rooms button on your Zoom screen. I show you where the button is. Okay. And there will be displayed the room name for the parallel session. Choose the room you're interested by clicking the join button. For those who not found the breakout rooms on your button, see there's a click. You can click the can you show me the name of the room, please?
The rooms are not assigned yet. The rooms
Not
are
available the room.
belum assign lagi.
No, the room is not created yet. So we will okay. We will create the room soon. So if you can find the breakout rooms button, maybe you can see the more button on your Zoom screen, and then you can choose from there. Okay. So the parallel session for room 1, the cultural practice and plant production, as well as room 5 for the agricultural social economic is cancelled. So thus we only have 3 virtual rooms for this for the parallel session 2. The room 2, the plant genetic resources and plant breeding. Room 3 for pest and disease management, and room 4 for post-harvest technology. Maybe to choose your room, maybe you can also message the main host your desired room, so we can assign you to the room you are choosing to. You can also move to another virtual room by clicking the Move To button and choose the room you wanted. When the parallel session is ended, the main host will automatically move you to the main room for the panel discussion. So this is the moderator for the parallel session 2, room 2, will be moderated by Dr. PK Dewi Hayati. Dr. Dewi is graduated her doctoral degree from University Putra Malaysia on plant breeding. She is now a lecturer in Faculty Agriculture of University Andalas. Room 3 will be moderated by Dr. R. Heru Praptana. Dr. Heru is graduated from Gajah Mada University on plant pathology. Dr. Heru is currently appointed as the head of Indonesian Tropical Fruit Research Institute, while the room 4 will be moderated by Professor I. Mada Suparta Utama. Professor Mada Suparta was graduated from University of Newcastle. Professor Mada Suparta is a lecturer of Faculty Agriculture Technology of Udayana University. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 10-minute breaks, and we will start.
Atau sini aja lah. Oh, deh. Someone bilang sorry, we have a break for 15 minutes. Yeah. Please right away. Break for 15 minutes.
Mute ya. Bisa itu.
Tes.
Masuk suaranya.
Sorry for the technical problem. So we'll have a break, 10 minutes break, and we will back to the parallel session in 11 p.m. Thank you.
Mana nih? Kak, minta nama apanya, Kak?
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the technical problem we have here. So the breakout room has been created, so you can choose your room for the next plenary session. Thank you.
Why I turn back to main room?
Miss me. Jam piro sih terus yang parah?
Why we
But there's
back
no
to
any breakout room now.
Sorry for a second. We have to recreate the room, and please don't click anything because if you click close out the room, and then everybody will join to the main room.
Okay. So you will assign me to the parallel room. No. Okay. Sorry, Pak Jarod. The name of Candi. What kind of the Candi?
Candi. Yeah, Candi. When you spell using English, you can say candy, right? C-A-N-D-Y. C-A-N-D-E. Candi. They're from the desa from village Candi Mulyo near Magelang.
Okay.
So it's given name Durian Candi. Because from Candi Mulyo. Candi Mulyo is one of the village that know many durian there, and you can go there as a agrotourism there. You can eat durian when on the season, many store inside the kampung.
I could not enter the room 4. Please help me enter the room 4, please. I'm as moderator in the room 4. I could not come entering the room 4.
Yeah, also
because there is no breakout.
Also, I am
here.
Sorry, sir, we are just waiting because the committee will move us to each room.
Okay. No, the breakthrough already open again, so I can move to the room.
Hello, Pak Jarod. How are you?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the breakout room is already created, so you can choose your desired rooms, or maybe you can contact the host if you want to the host design you to your rooms. For the room 1, the cultural practice and plan production, the parallel session will be started at 1 p.m. Okay. enjoy your discussion. Thank you.
Loh, saya masih di sini.
So another information, room 1 and room 5 is cancelled for this session. It will be start again at 1 p.m. for room 1 and room 5. So now we only have 3 rooms, which is the room 2, the plant genetic resources and plant breeding, room 3, pest and disease management, and room 4, the post-harvest technology. So once again, I remind you that there is no room 1 and room 4. No room 1 and room 5 for this session. It will be start again at 1 p.m. For this session, we only have 3 rooms. Is the room 2, the plant genetic resources and plant breeding, room 3, plant and disease management, and room 4, post-harvest technology. Thank you. You can choose the 3 rooms which are available now. Thank you.
Oke, iya, ada yang mantap. Yes. Oke. Dah. Kerja. Namanya apa nih? Sekarang di mana nih?
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are still in the main room, you can choose the 3 rooms available now. Or if you want us to help you, you can chat the host and we will decide you to your desired rooms. Thank you. Once again, I repeat, for this session, there is no discussion in room 1 and room 5. We only have 3 rooms for this session. The room 1 and room 5 will be started again at 1 p.m. Thank you. I repeat again another information. So for room 1 is the cultural practice and plant production. Room 2, we don't use now numbers for the room. You can see here the names of the room is plant genetic resources and breeding, pest and disease management, and post-harvest technology. You can choose among that 3 rooms for this 11 a.m. session. Thank you.
Adita Eka. Adita Eka. Ya.
Perintah sehari Dewi dia nggak bisa masuk ke room 2.
Prita itu sekarang di ruang berapa dia?
Di main room mungkin Pak.
Di main room. Prita.
Lalu dari itu ini